The TV in the Oval dining room is blaring. The president is yelling. What's he saying? I can't make it out. I hear him say, hang, repeatedly. Hang, hang. What's that about? They are calling for the vice president to be hanged. The president is okay with it. He doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't think they're doing anything wrong. He thinks Mike is a traitor. This is crazy. We need to be doing something more.
That was a portion of Rachel Maddow's very lengthy book reading session. She was reading an excerpt from Cassidy Hutchinson's memoir, Enough. Cassidy Hutchinson, of course, was an aide to Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows. And if what Hutchinson wrote and you just heard was in fact true, that would mean that Donald Trump enthusiastically cheered for the assassination of his own vice president on January 6th as the Capitol rioters were chanting, hang Mike Pence. Now, does the story track with what Hutchinson previously testified to the January 6th House Select Committee investigating the riots? Before we find out, let's remind ourselves of the actual situation that took place and unfolded at the Capitol on January 6th. Now, with that in mind, let's go back and watch Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony before the House Select Committee.
Mark hung up the phone, handed it back to me. I went back to my desk. A couple minutes later, him and Pat came back, possibly Eric Hirschman too. I'm pretty sure Eric Hirschman was there. But I'm confident it was Pat that was there. I remember Pat saying something to the effect of, Mark, we need to do something more. They're literally calling for the vice president to be effing hung. And Mark had responded something to the effect of, you heard him, Pat. He thinks Mike deserves it. He doesn't think they're doing anything wrong.
So there's a little bit of a change in what she says in the context of her book and what she said in this testimony for the House Select Committee investigating January 6th. So in the clip that you just watched, Hutchinson testified that she heard Trump's statements secondhand. However, in the book, Hutchinson claims that she heard Trump firsthand.
Yeah.
Which I think is a little bit of a concern here, no?
No, yeah, so the book is super unclear. She says she heard hang, 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 but she doesn't say that Trump said it. I couldn't tell if she meant the TV or Trump. But okay, so that leads to a very important point. Guys, what she's alleging there is not a little thing. And this is what drives me crazy when people don't pick up on the most important story, like maybe of all, like it's certainly of my lifetime, right? And so if what she's saying is true, it should end the conversation. So the president didn't mind if his supporters murdered his own vice president, murdered him, and he was totally okay with it. If that's true, how could you possibly vote for him? And maybe MAGA thinks that's cool. That's cool. Of course the president should try to murder his own vice president if he dares to disagree. By the way, this is the same guy who said when Mark Milley disagreed, treason, and he
should be executed.
And he said the punishment is death, and he capitalized death. That just happened within the last week. So anyone who disagrees with him gets death. So now, guys, I'm not just gonna take Cassidy Hutchinson's word for it because this is too important. And you can't get this wrong, okay? So she said, Mark Meadows said he doesn't mind. Pat Cipollone was there. So we need those guys on the stand and they need to either say it didn't happen or corroborate. If they say it didn't happen, then maybe it didn't happen. And at a minimum, you've got conflicting testimony. But if all of them say, yes, Trump definitely said he did not mind if his supporters murdered his own vice president, well, MAGA's got a decision to make. Are you guys comfortable with it? Are you gonna deny every piece of reality, or do you not mind the murder of the vice president if he supports Trump? Guys, this is not a normal story. This is not a little story or this is the biggest. Imagine if Barack Obama had said, I don't mind if Obama fans murder Joe Biden. It literally would have been the story of the century, it's not 1% hyperbole. So when Trump says it, we've normalized it because we think, well, yeah, of course, he's a lunatic, a maniac, a deranged psycho. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't put a deranged psycho back in office. So I want to see Cipollone on the stand. I want to see Mark Meadows on the stand. Did he say it or didn't he say it? Because if he said it, well then, look, and MAGA, you see that and you're still in favor of him? Well, brothers and sisters, then we got nothing in common. Because I'm not in favor of dictators, I'm not in favor of monsters who want to murder people who disagree with them. So if you are, you got your conscience to deal with. But I will do everything in my being to stop that monster, okay? And he is a goddamn monster. And Democrats, wake up! Wake up! This guy's talking about executing people. And you're like, well, we wouldn't want to offend Joe Biden. He's definitely going to lose to him. But hey, we bow down to authority. Joe Biden's ego demands a second term. Screw Joe Biden's ego. We're going to lose the goddamn country to a tyrant and a dictator who's telling you ahead of time that he's going to murder people. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. And Merrick Garland, you're the worst attorney general ever. What did you wait 2.5 years for? That wasn't serious enough to bring the case? You goddamn loser! You incompetent, selfish prick! Merrick Garland's the worst! They should have brought this case on day one. Day one! Oh, well, he's among the elites, he's a former president. None of us want to be held accountable, so we'll wait to see if he's gonna run. The worst! Democrats, stop being such losers and pick someone who could beat the tyrant. Otherwise, we're gonna lose the country. And they're gonna put you in jail, you dumbasses. Wake up!
Thanks for watching the video, guys. We also love it if you hit the join button below because that makes you a member. And members allow us to be independent, honest. We can be as progressive as we want, no corporate media influence, and that's all because of you guys. We love doing the show with our members. Hit the join button, become one of the Young Turks.